Hi everybody, I'm Shaw Gale, and I'm here representing the Tribal Trust Foundation, and I'm going to offer you a very simple instruction on how to do your own water blessing. Usually I've been doing the water blessings with my Chumash elder friend Art Cisneros on the beach every full moon for the community, but since we can't have gatherings, I thought you might be interested in doing your own water ceremony on the full moon. It will be synchronized with the rest of us, or really anytime. You can do a water ceremony anytime you want to. It's a beautiful wisdom of the Indigenous peoples who know that the elements that we are made of, earth, air, water, and fire, are actually intelligent energies, intelligent beings. And since we are mostly water, say 70% water by volume, 80%, but by molecules, we're actually 99% of our molecules are water. So this is a water ceremony to bring our blessings to water, because water holds whatever impression we give it. It will hold our prayers and our intentions. And it's a blessing for us too. We ask the water to bless us, and since we are water. So I brought together just the most simple basics that you would need. And here I have our cloth. It would be an altar cloth, and that's just to designate sacred space. You can do it, I'm doing it on a picnic table here, but you could do it on your table at home, on the floor, in the sand is where I usually do it, or on the earth, anywhere. And then you need some kind of a container, a beautiful sacred container. Could be as small as a little bowl or even a glass, but I like this one because it reminds me of the shells in the ocean. And then a container of water. And I brought this because I can also drink it if I'm out doing a ceremony. And I get the best water get the best water you can. Like if you have filtered water at home, special water, I have structured water, I use that. And then I like to use crystals, because water holds memory and holds the impression, and crystals actually do that even more. So when I put crystals in the water, it really helps to magnify the intention that we're giving the water. So I brought some crystals. You might want to have some of your sacred special objects. I brought some sage, and I also brought a little container of, this is very special water that has been in other ceremonies, or you might want water from a special spring that you know, or some sacred place. So that's not necessary, that's just another little add-on. So we're going to start by creating the altar. And so I've chose this piece of cloth because it reminds me of the colors of water. Some people like to make a little square. I like to make kind of a circle with the cloth. I'm going to bring this in a little closer to me. So I have to reach. And this is just representing sacred space, which is separate from everything else, and it's the point of focus when we do a ceremony. And then I'm going to place this sacred bowl in the center. And I like to designate the 4 directions, because most of my life I've done Celtic ceremony when I was younger, and then Native American ceremonies, and we're honoring the medicine wheel, the 4 directions. It's not necessary unless that's your practice, but I'm going to put one here in the west where the sun is setting, in the south where the ocean is, in the Santa Barbara area, in the north, and in the east. And again, that's helping to hold this sacred space, call in the energies of the 4 directions. You might want to call on your ancestors, or the ancestors of this place, to be present and support us in doing a ceremony. And then I start with a small amount of water, the special water I brought. And if you did have water from a previous ceremony or from a sacred place, I'd like to add a little of that water, because it brings the energy of a sacred space with it. And then, this is my habit, you could just put one little crystal in the center. It's not even necessary, but I'm going to start with, this is rose quartz in the shape of a heart. And since when we work with the water or any of the elements, we want to come from our hearts. So we want to be in our hearts. And the rose quartz, we have some rough rose quartz here, actually symbolize the sacred feminine. And I'm going to put 6 of the small quartz around the center, because that symbolizes the hexagonal shape of the water molecule when it's in its natural form, when it's structured like it is up in the mountains. And so that kind of symbolizes the water molecule. Not necessary, you can be even simpler than that, or just put one crystal in there. So we have our altar set. If you have sacred objects or even a piece of jewelry that you want to put on the altar to also be blessed by whatever intentions or prayers you offer, that's wonderful too. And now the next thing we need to do is create our own sacred space within us. And so what we want to do is leave behind any distracting thoughts of the day and bring ourselves really present here. And one of the things that helps me to do that, the actual Chumash people, who were the original people of this land, love to burn white sage. So I'm going to light some white sage. That is a cleanser. It clears away distracting thoughts and energies. And just the smell of the sage just brings me automatically into focus for ceremony. So it is part of clearing the space to create sacred space. You might want to burn cedar or even incense. And just breathing it in, coming to more of a still place, coming present. I'm going to let a little of this burn while we're working here. And whatever it is that you need, like sometimes people need to shake out or clear the energy around in your energy field. Maybe do a little qigong or a little movement, whatever brings you. Sometimes I gather energy from the earth and bring it up to my heart. Take a deep breath and gather sky energy. And just take a moment to be still, focus in my heart. When you feel ready, when you feel like you really let go into the present moment, I'm going to take my container of water, and I'm actually going to hold it to my heart. And this is something I learned from one of the 13 grandmothers, Grandmother Agnes, bless her heart, who passed on earlier this year. And she said, when you put the water to your heart, you're like meeting the heart, you're introducing yourself, and the water can align to your rhythms and the rhythm of your heart. And while it's here, I can also take a moment just to send gratitude to the water. Gratitude for all the beautiful gifts that water brings, for bathing, for drinking, for cooking, for cleansing, all of the things that water brings to us, and that we are water. So giving thanks, just with your heart, send love to the water. And then, if you're by yourself, you might want to speak out loud and think of some intention that you would like. I usually start with a prayer or intention for the water itself. Like I would feel in my heart what blessing I wanted to bring or what intention, and I would speak it and pour a little water into the center bowl. So something like, water, my prayer is that people will come to recognize that you are the source of life and how precious you are, and that we all return to a place of stewardship, of caring for you, of helping to cleanse you, purify you, and respect you deeply. Oh. It's kind of like a toast, you know. You pour water into the bowl to bring that prayer. And then maybe I offer a prayer intention for loved ones, for ones who might be sick now, having the virus or some other illness, someone who's just passed, and offer a prayer for them. I might offer a prayer for what's going on politically or socially on the planet. For maybe right now, I'd love to offer a prayer that all the leaders of the world could open their hearts and absorb the wisdom of the ancients and the ancestors and the guides and spirit, and do the right thing for the people and for the earth. So when I'm with a circle of people, we take turns offering prayers and intentions. If you have a friend or you're quarantined with family or friend, you can invite them to join you in the water ceremony. And we just go around until we feel finished with prayers and intentions. And then kind of adding more energy, energizing the water to really hold our prayers and carry them. And there's lots of things you can do. You can drum, you can rattle, you can sing to the water. I like to start with a little blessing that comes from Dr. Emoto, the Japanese scientist and doctor who studied water and started to recover some of the wisdom that indigenous peoples have always had about how water has a memory, and it will carry the energy we give to it. So we want to give it good energy, and this is a little variation on his blessing, and it just goes like this. You just speak into the water and say, "Water, I love you. Water, I thank you. Water, I respect and protect you. And water, I am you." And you can say that like 3 times, say it together in unison if you're with friends or family. And the vibration of your voice, especially speaking from your heart with real feeling, goes into the water. And I did bring my little travel drum here, and so sometimes I like to do what is called the earth heartbeat. It's very simple. It's just like your own heartbeat, and I drum that into the water. Drum got a little flat out here in the moisture of the ocean, but I'll drum for a while until I feel my own heart come into resonance and with the water. And then you might want to offer a song, or people around the circle that you're with might have a song. And since I'm not the greatest singer in the world, there's lots of songs, water songs that are available now on the internet. You can find, this one is a beautiful little song that is a Lakota. Somebody's happy, somebody's singing, a Lakota water song, and I'm just going to play it for us now, and you can sing along. Starts with some sticks. Do-ya, do-ya, Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, hey. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, hey-ya. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, hey. Hey, Wichita, do-ya, do-ya. Hey, Wichita, do-ya, hey. Hey, Wichita, do-ya, do-ya. Hey, Wichita, do-ya, hey. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, do-ya. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, hey. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, do-ya. Wichita, do-ya, do-ya, hey. So, thank you, water. Bless you. And now I might take the crystals out of the water, and then I will take the bowl and offer it, like if you're in your own garden, offer it to your garden plants, offer it to a favorite tree, offer it to the ocean or a body of water, and knowing that your prayers then will, with the water, evaporate, go into the earth, and be offered.